Off the bat, this Direct has probably been up there with the likes of even the Switch 2 Direct and a few others that came in the past. Obviously, this is another 6 hours? Wow, 60-minute Direct. And obviously, we haven't had one since obviously April, and there hasn't really been that much Directs that's this long. And obviously, I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna just mainly talk about some other stuff like Nintendo and stuff like that, and then move on to third-party stuff, which is very true, and you'll see that in this video. But man, I wasn't expecting the announcements that they dropped here. So yes, definitely stay tuned as I talk about some of the highlights that I found really interesting in this Nintendo Direct. So let's start off obviously with Hyrule Age of Imprisonment, which I'm surprised they even said that perfectly the first time. Also, we've got a release date, and for a while this been advertised, and we haven't really gotten much when it comes to saying, hey, it's gonna come out this time and that time. So it actually is coming out this year, which is actually really good. And I'll be honest, it actually looks good. I'm surprised it's actually locked at 60 FPS. It seems, well, we had to wait because you know how these games can be. Like, look at Hyrule Warriors, what was it, Age of Calamity? That game was really rough, but then again, that was on Switch 1, and Switch 1 is dead. So, you know, this one should run fairly well and really decent. So it was nice that we actually got a release date for Age of Imprisonment alongside with Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is obviously coming out next year, January, I think the 22nd, and which is obviously, you know, pretty much the time that they did kind of say, which I think was winter. So, you know, it does make sense. I am actually really pleased at how that game's looking. Like, it looks phenomenal. Like, I'm surprised that Square Enix really went out of their way to really make this game look really good on Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I'm just really shocked by the visuals by both of these games, Age of Calamity and Final Fantasy VII Remake. It makes me wonder what they can pull off with maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I thought was kind of like a dream, considering how we don't know Final Fantasy VII Remake's performance and stuff like that at the time. But obviously seeing the game and, you know, obviously people talking about the experience playing at Gamescom and all these other events, it's definitely, you know, giving that suggestion that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would be in safe hands when it comes to ported over like on Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, I will say, you know, lower your expectations just a fair bit because obviously it is a mobile sort of device. It's not a homemade console. Homemade? Why is saying like it's going to be in the oven? Just say, hey, you want this homemade console for you? But no, obviously it's a home, well, compared to home consoles, it's not going to be anything like that. But it will definitely, you know, kind of match it in some similarities and stuff like that. I'm gonna be real, I actually thought like this was Doom or something because I was confused, like, what game is this? Until I saw the actual suit and I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually Metroid. For some weird reason, it just didn't ring at the time until I was like, oh, seeing a little bit in the environments, the textures, I was like, oh, okay, this might be Metroid Prime 4, which I was right. And obviously, what, Samus was rocking a new bike now? Like, what? Obviously, I don't remember having a bike, so this is actually kind of a first time seeing Samus on a bike, I think. Like, I don't know, tell me in the comment section below, because I'm a little bit confused, but anyway, this suit looks amazing. I just love the design. It's definitely, like, almost... Oh man, I actually think it might be better than the original. I know that's a crazy thing to say, considering this game hasn't even come out. We're not even exactly super close on that release date, but I mean, it's kind of like right around the corner, or not right around the corner, but it's like, it's not that far, okay? So yeah, I'm actually really impressed by the game. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about other than that it looks like we will have some open areas to explore and we'll have to traverse and bike and stuff like that, which is very interesting and very fresh for the direction that Metroid Prime 4 is taking, along with obviously her new powers like her psychic powers and all that stuff. So again, I'm really looking forward to what Metroid is going to deliver, and I really want to uncover more about Sylux, as that is the very big thing about this game that has been burning me since watching the first probably announcement. If you've been watching my videos for quite some time, you probably haven't hit that subscribe button, as only 3% of you guys are subscribed while 96% of you are not. If you love the content that I make on the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button, as it helps me a ton and allows me to create more for you guys. I cover things like horror, fighting games, and of course Nintendo occasionally. So if you guys like those type of things, then definitely hit that subscribe button. And mostly Pokemon reveals something for Legends EA, you're just kind of waiting for that new announcement of a new Mega. And obviously we've got some interesting ones like Halucha and Malamar, and I was actually surprised by those. But what I was even more shocked about is the actual Kalos Star is actually getting a Mega Evolution, since we kind of had this idea or rumored idea that we'll obviously get and see something like that. potentially in Legends EA, but I didn't know they was actually going to do it straight off the bat in this trailer, and I was like, wow, okay, we're really eating when it comes to Mega Evolutions announcements and all that stuff. And actually, I'm a little bit scared. It's the last thing you will ever hear from any Pokemon fan, but you gotta realize something, which, okay, not everyone does battles, you know, online and stuff like that with Pokemon, but I definitely love to keep up with the competitive scene now and again. But man, you gotta realize, Ash's Greninja was OP, and to see that he actually has like a Mega Evolution, not this random weird form, is actually a little bit frightening, because you gotta realize, like, what are the stats of some of these Pokemons like Dragonite, all these other Pokemons? Like, it's gonna be insane when it comes to actually playing them online with, you know, probably champions and stuff like that. So again, you guys are hyped about this now, but you guys gotta realize that when it comes to the battles, that's gonna be scary. We're gonna see some real busted out stats and stuff like that, I know for a fact. But otherwise, yeah, this game is amazing, it's breathtaking on Switch 2. And I really hope that they keep this sort of thing going when it comes to Pokemon on the Switch too, because again, obviously this game does look good. I think they can obviously do better, and something, you know, kind of like Let's Go, but maybe mixed with Legends EA, just something like a merge of the two styles, because like the game is vibrant, but I don't know, it's just, I don't know, there's something about it, but I obviously love it. I'm just saying, obviously, I would like to see more when it comes to Pokemon on Switch 2. Completely forgot about Raichu, by the way. We actually are getting some Raichu love, which is shocking considering this franchise has been around for so many years, and only now it's getting obviously some love. Obviously, we've got Alolan, you know, Raichu and all that stuff, but come on, man, like, Raichu deserves more than that. So it's actually really good that he's obviously getting 2 Megas, not just 1, 2. I really thought for a second there that I was gonna do like Mega Pikachu and Mega Raichu, and I'm like, what are you doing? But luckily it's not that. And he actually looks really dope. I want to know like for a fact these stats for some of these Pokemon, because again, I just don't think they're gonna be really balanced. As always, because Pokemon's just getting to this weird phase where it's just, the games are not balanced at all. Okay, now moving on to the last 3 games that really sold this direct for me, and that was definitely, obviously, of course, we're looking at Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which is definitely not going to roll off the tongue. I'm going to have to say this title a few times to get it really stuck in my head. But other than that, the game itself looks amazing. Obviously, there was rumors floating around that obviously there was a game that was using Unreal Engine 5, and obviously, I don't know exactly if this fits the bill, but it definitely does look impressive regardless. And of course, the new Fire Emblem game, I'm totally down for. Obviously, I haven't really played Free Houses or anything like that because they kind of look rough, but this game, well, it's not going to have the same issues because obviously it's Switch 2 and not Switch 1. Hopefully, or maybe, you'll probably get an upgrade for something like Free Houses, maybe like just before the game comes, or this game comes out, or something like that, because, you know, I think that would definitely help to get even more people on the Fire Emblem craze of this game. And I think I'm actually going to get this game at some point, probably over 3 houses, because again, this one character looks so much like Alucard, and I'm kind of sold just because of that. But yeah, this is looking amazing, flawless. The character designs are peak, as always, when it comes to Fire Emblem. Obviously, it was a little bit rough with Fire Emblem Engage, but yeah, it's nice to know that we're back to, you know, normal, good character design when it comes to Fire Emblem. Obviously, it's still, you know, I wouldn't say it's exactly perfect, because I know of recent Fire Emblem games, they just feel really weird. Like, if you look at some of the characters, like back then, and you look at them now, they're nothing similar to each other, which I guess is a good thing, but it's also kind of weird because just the direction it's taken over the years. But hey, I'm not complaining. These characters look amazing, so I ain't gonna complain too much. But I'm really excited to delve deep into the story and uncover what's going on with this game. Obviously, I'm not sure if it's directly linked with Free Houses, but you know, regardless, I'm gonna enjoy it. Even as, you know, blind playthrough, I guess. Fatal Frame was not my bingo card for this direct at all, because I'm like, okay, we're gonna get a few horror games maybe, or not a few horror games, we're gonna get RE and call it a day. But I wasn't expecting this, and I'm very pleased, obviously. I'm not complaining or anything. I definitely would like to play Fatal Frame. I haven't really gotten a chance to, so maybe this is a perfect opportunity to actually dive into the series and actually play it. Obviously, I did watch a few videos talking about the lore and stuff like that, but yeah, I didn't see this coming at all. Like, maybe there was a few leaks and rumors and all that stuff floating around before this, but I was not the impression that this was actually going to make its way to Nintendo Switch 2, or just be a thing. I don't know if this is new because again, I've really not kept up when it comes to Fatal Frame stuff, but I'm pretty sure this is new because I haven't seen anything like it. But hey, I'm excited regardless. It's great to obviously see more horror games make its way to this system because honestly, there's just a charm about playing handheld horror games. I don't know why. Playing games in handheld, sorry, not specifically handheld horror games. I don't know where that came from. This last game doesn't really need an introduction at all on the channel, but of course, we finally got ourselves Resident Evil on Switch 2, and it's about time actually, because I really thought the first Switch 2 Direct was going to have this, maybe the partner showcase, but I was like, okay, maybe they're just saving it for a big next Direct, and of course this is definitely one of them. This game actually looks really good, considering I was really hoping that they wouldn't hurt my eyes with a Switch 2 port of this game, because something told me that it will probably be terrible, but obviously they proved me wrong. And I should have realized this definitely, because when Capcom brought Street Fighter 6 on the Switch 2, it looked more like, identical to the actual other platforms. Granted, that is a fighting game, so it's a little bit different than a obviously game like this. And I am very, very pleased that they've actually gone out of their way to deliver a good looking port from what I'm seeing, at least. And I hope when people get to play it, that they'll give us more info saying, hey, the game runs really well and stuff like that, because man, I'm just happy that we're even getting some RE on the Switch 2. And not only are we getting Resident Evil Requiem on the Switch 2 as well, we are also getting Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 releasing on the same day, I think, or day after obviously Requiem is coming out, which is again awesome. Like, the fact that this is actually happening is just beautiful, and I really do look forward to when this game comes out and everyone can enjoy it. And I will definitely check out Resident Evil 7 and number 8. I don't know why I said number 8. Now the real question is, will I actually pick it up? Now, I may actually buy Resident Evil Requiem on Switch 2 just because I'm very curious how this game would run. Obviously I'm expecting, high quality stuff when it comes to Capcom, because that's just how Capcom is for me. Like, if there's one company that I know that delivers when it comes to ports, games, or just anything, is Capcom. Obviously they go for the little ups and downs, but hey, everyone does, and I'm not expecting obviously everything from them, but this is looking amazing, and I really have to say thank you, Capcom, for actually going out your way to do something like this, because it's just really mind-blowing. More info drops from this trailer as well, and it wasn't just the Switch 2 edition thing, it was also actual new credible information which I wasn't expecting from this, and I'm very thankful that we did. Obviously we get the return of this seated figure, which we don't really know nothing about. Again, can he be someone from the previous RE titles, or could he actually be Oswald E. Spencer, which I know is something kind of strange to say because it's not really sounding the exact same when it comes to voices, but at the same time, like, the cast has always changed when it comes to RE characters. Like, Ada hasn't stayed the same, this and that character hasn't stayed the same. They always kind of like change it once and again to make it probably fresh, or if not, due to time constraints and they needed someone else to voice the character. So who it might actually be that sort of character. And you're probably thinking, but what, Spence already died by the hands of Wesker, and yes, that is very true, but I'm sure that he had some sort of backup plan. I just felt like he was so willing to accept his fate, and it just didn't seem right to me. Like, could there be something in the works? Did he had a spare body or something backed up? And that's not something that wouldn't really surprise me in something like RE, because the amount of craziness that goes on in this world, I wouldn't be too shocked. So we could probably get the return of Oswald E. Spencer. I'm gonna leave it here though, because I don't want to make this video super long, and not only that, I don't really need to dump it all in one video, and I could just spread it out, which I'm going to do. So if you definitely enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content whether it comes to Resident Evil or Nintendo, and obviously hit that notification bell, that way you get my videos first. Without further ado, I'll see you all next time. Peace out and have a lovely day.